Treating holistically, the whole person, body, mind, begins with understanding what it is that makes that individual unique. The Mish journey is about learning to hold a deep contemplative, experiential space so that we can follow, encourage, and gently guide the other towards their inner world and deeper levels of their inner experience. We can even start with the pathology itself. Let's say someone presents with arthritis of the hip. That pathology is just the tip of the iceberg. It's an objective outside evaluation of disease, and it doesn't tell us anything about the uniqueness of the individual. The subjective perception tells us a bit more about the subjective experience that's not part of the pathology, and so a little bit more individualized. It feels stuck or blocked. Not everyone with arthritis would necessarily say that, so we pay special attention to the specific words and descriptions that the person uses. In their interpretation of what role the pathology plays in their lives, we discover a little bit more about them. It restricts me, it blocks me, I have no way out. Another person could talk about their creativity being limited, or for another it might be how it affects their love life that bothers them the most and makes them lonely. The emotional reactions in this case were irritability and feeling cross. Someone else could feel sadness and tears, another frustration or disappointment, or even fear, the fear of being dependent on someone else. So we're at the beginning of discovering what is unique. The deeper we go, the more individualized it is, and the more subjective and internal the experience becomes. As we approach the less conscious dimensions and leave the rational mind behind, imagination and imagery come into play. Images that hold everything that came before. Notice that certain words are common to every level. We're following a red thread that links body and mind together. As we go more deeply, beyond perceptions, interpretations, and emotions, we enter the unconscious and the inner world of imagination, symbol and gestures, until we finally get an understanding of the dynamic energy of that individual. The same exploration process is used for other dimensions. We can explore what stresses them, or their striving, their idea of perfection or ideal, of which they might not even be consciously aware. What is truly fascinating is that we come to the same root in all three explorations. There's an aha, an incredible insight, when the individual actually experiences their thoughts, feelings, ideals, and physical pains as expressions of the same energy, the same dynamic movement, the same root. Then we know we've come to the root, to the energetic dynamic that's at the source of both health and disease for that individual as a whole. The next step is even more magical. We are now able to match the uniqueness of that individual with something from nature. We teach you step by step to go from the deep central essence of the individual to match it to a natural remedy using information from scientific provings so that we can act on a subtle energetic level so as to bring out the full healing potential of that individual. Once the individualized signal realigns the subtle energetic structure, it sparks insights, mental clarity, reduces the perceptions that cause stress. And then we see that the more superficial physical symptoms and ailments usually dissipate or disappear on their own. But if needed, we can also then determine exactly which diet, which herbs, homeopathy, and supplements can support that individual's unique healing process. And that is the basis of a true holistic practice.